David Whitehead, welcome to the show. You had me at Cult of the Medics. I said, yes, this is my jam. But for this show, we're going to be talking about programming in all its forms and how it takes power away. It gives it to the one who's controlling the narrative. When you were talking about that, I could see how parenting styles today are really based on that. And parenting styles today really are based on indoctrination.
Yes.
And so children learn not to trust themselves. This kind of thing is good for deprogramming, because I always like to touch on that. So what can we do now? And so what you can do now is you could fill your mind with what maybe at the time you might think is the other side, but with information and facts and things that are going to help you to get out of the indoctrination that you've just been subjected to. You can't really do it without it. You have your intuition, and you also have to have the knowledge and the facts, because you're always going to go back to your fear. You're always going to go back to your path, your team, or your the way that you were raised, right? Your security system there, and your belief system. You start to think, and you really start to critically think, really. And so that's what I did. And so then I was like, wait a minute. I think this is a quote from you. The whole ancient world was formed by cults. Did they go away? So let's talk about these ancient cults that I don't think the average person understands.
People are willingly complying with their nonsensical rules. People believe that other people have control over them when that's just in their imagination because they were told something. People believe they have to slave away at their job and then give half their money away. Okay, these are all belief systems that they have us in, and people are too afraid to look for the truth.
The more we practice, the more the theory of it is going to be clear to us. Just trust that, go and do it. And if you think that you can do it better, hey, then go and do it better the next time.
I would say it's scary because we have to let go of who we thought we were and who we were being. In order to become who you really are, you have to let go of everything that's not you. Everything that is not real for you, that you brought on from your parents or your whatever programming you had, whether it was your siblings or your peers. We think that's who we are. Like you said, we believe that that's us. And to let go of that is scary because we don't know who we are on the other side of that. Like who would you be being if you weren't, afraid of, You
just nailed it. You just nailed it. We're on a journey.
Yeah. Trust your inner engineering. Trust your own hardware and software. Trust that it's there. It's all there.
I've got lists. I got books miles long of doctors that have come out to blow the whistle on the fact that they woke up and realized that they're involved in a cult, a scientific cult that is not science anymore.
When you talked about choices, I like to put that in quotes. People think that they have all these choices. Look at all these choices I have, No, you don't. The choices that they're giving you are very limited. You mentioned the online, kind of herding over to the online experience because they control it. Who controls the online experience? Who controls the internet?
Directly from MK Ultra, one of the most prolific or one of the most popular mind control experiment programs that was actually run out of Canada, Montreal, by the way. Their goal, this was in their own writings, their goal was to try to find out how to make a person operate against their will, even if their survival was at stake. That was their goal. They wanted to hack the human mind and hack your free will and learn how to manipulate you subliminally.
You can have all these online friends and you can talk to people in London and you can have these Zoom calls where everyone's busy, but hey, they can take an hour, out of their day. They don't have to get on an airplane. Those are benefits, but what are all of the negative side effects and the cons to the way that things are going? And that's really the underlying programs. That's really how we're being indoctrinated really into these programs.
When people come at you with that, oh, it can't be because everybody'd have to be in on it. You're in on it. Are you wearing 2 masks? Are you putting on the arrows on the Walmart? Are you getting on a plane and doing what you're told like a good little slave? You're a part of the conspiracy.
That's right.
You don't even know.
Here's the thing. It's like there's what is it, 7.8 billion of us, and there's a kind of, you know, you could probably put them into like one room. You could probably fit one room with the people who are really like orchestrating this whole thing. And they know that if we ever woke up and got wise, it would be over in a second. People
want the path of least resistance, and path of least resistance is just to memorize, regurgitate, and cooperate. And if you tell people that, hey, your whole entire foundation of the world and everything you learned in school is a lie, and now you have to redo all of that, that's too much. People don't want to handle that.
The predator class, let's say, don't care what your belief set is, whether it be religious or otherwise, as long as you don't know, as long as you're not knowledgeable of what the real truth of what's going on, and maybe it's really difficult to even get to the real truth of what's going on, but at least can we come to a conclusion on some obvious things? Whatever their patterns of behavior are, that was a safety mechanism. There was something that made you safe. There was some reason why you did that, and there was a darn good reason why you started doing that, and there's no fault in that. But now it's time. Now it's time to realize how that started and how the pattern is not serving you in other situations.
People know more about the engine of their car than they do about the engine up here, the brain, right? And the brain here is like the engine of the car, or it's like the car. Now, if you're not going to drive it yourself and you're not going to run that engine, someone else is going to run it for you.
The enemy of humanity has a fundamental and very deep knowledge of how you tick on a psychological and emotional level. And that's why they were able, that's how a few was able to control the many, was that they had knowledge that the many didn't have. But here's the good news. You can also have that knowledge now. And that's what this whole awakening process is all about.